Well, she's back on her feet again. And I'm out of beer. So you know it's been a fun night. So, ran into a couple of little roadblock stumps along the way. I have no clue what this is on the floor. I don't remember how long it's been there. It might be some acid stuff from when I did the rear end. I don't know. Anyways, sorry getting sidetracked. Got squirreled. So it's all back in. And there's the butte for what you can see of it. I made sure to shmoo some goop in the around the diff this time. I didn't realize the gaskets you're actually, I normally do it, but I knew I was going to be changing the diff, so before I didn't. I don't know if I mentioned in a previous video or if you remembered if you did watch it, but the other diff, this one, had a leak because I didn't put shmoo around the paper gasket on both sides. Normally I do that with paper gaskets, but I knew I was going to be replacing it, so I just used some like spray adhesive stuff because I didn't want to have to clean away a bunch of goop, which I did anyways because the gasket stuck like super glue with that spray adhesive. But anyways, let me see if I can get where I can get underneath here a little bit. I probably should have made this video before I dropped the car, but didn't think about it. So, first roadblock, one, this rear bolt, that one that I'm pointing at, that is a pain to get in because when I welded it, I probably should have put some kind of shim or spacer along with the, because it comes with a jig to weld it. I probably should have put some kind of spacer in it with it because it is like a machine tight fit to get this torque arm in there. Maybe it's supposed to be that way, but you have to use a jack and use the weight of the car to press it in. And if you don't have it lined up, you get to pry it back out of there again if you don't have the bolt hole lined up right. So that's a pain in the ass to get. Second bit, along with this torque arm being heavy as hell and the rear diff and housing being heavy as hell, you have to kind of twist the, sorry, this light wants to roll. You have to twist the rear end like this or lift the nose of the pinion to get this torque arm to line up for these rods. And the problem I ran into that was a major roadblock which slowed me down immensely today. I don't know if you can see it. See if I can get the camera any closer. See that shiny part next to where that rod is? You had to eat away the ribs. You can't see it too well because the rod blocks it. But I pretty much had to take my burr tool and chew away a path for that rod to stick. That's depressing when you have a brand new fancy aluminum, it's not billet, but fancy new aluminum case that case cost somewhere ballparked around $400, and you have to take it and start destroying it right off the bat. That kind of pissed me off, but I called, I checked, I test fit it, and I assumed that's what you had to do is just clearance for the rod. I called TCI before I did it just in case. It's like, yo, do y'all know y'all have a problem? And he's like, yeah, you run an aftermarket diff housing or diff case, you have to clearance the ribs for the rods. It's like, well, that's nice to know. Would have loved to have done it when it was out of the car. You don't know how hard it was trying to get underneath here. I don't know why I put the light up. How hard it was squeezing myself underneath this car because I could only get it so high because I couldn't use my stands and rested on the wheels to get it up high enough where I had it before when I was working on the car. Because that torque arm's not in it all the way. You need that those torque arm rods to keep the rear end from wanting to tip. And once you put the whole weight of the car on it, it wants to try to tip, and the only thing keeping it from tipping are those coilover bolts. And I didn't want to start bending on those or putting any tension on those coilovers that aren't just vertical, because it's going to want to do this with it. So here's the side view from this. You can see probably a bunch of aluminum shavings up there from the burr tool. I got to get the air hose and blow those out a little better. Driving it, it's going to blow out. You can see all the shavings on the ground. hopefully those shavings didn't get anywhere they weren't supposed to be. Everything should have been sealed up under here, but you know, my luck with the motor. So who knows? Probably just toasted every bearing in this rear housing when I burr tooled that. Would have been nice to be able to do that before I installed any of it, but you know. One more thing, they left out the instructions, which they probably, maybe they have it edited now, who knows. It's probably some revised thing, but they did answer the phone quick. They did give me an answer quick, so I can't hate on them too much, other than a little bit of RNG, whatever, would have been great. A little design testing, because this is, I wouldn't say the second major thing, but it's pretty major. It was a pain in the ass. But anyways, I got the brakes bled. I got my drive shaft angle set. The drive shaft was sitting at 5 degrees. The instructions said that they set their pinion at 1 degree less, so I set it at 4 degrees. Everything rotates smooth like it's supposed to. And like I said, I bled the brakes. I did one of those little magnetic jugs with the hose down in the fluid. Little one-man bleeders. Seemed to have worked like a champ. Got all the air out that I could see. I could see the hose on the driver's side. And I did find out, because I was thinking I knew, but I wasn't positive. And in case anyone's curious, my T5 is out of a 90 Fox body, so it is a world class. In case you don't know, those take ATF. Dex, Merc, or Dex 3, I think, Mercon 3, something like that, Dex Merc. So it's that lovely red automatic transmission fluid. You have to run that in these, because these aren't metal to metal. They have needle bearings, and you will burn them up if you put gear oil in it. But anyways, it is right at 7 o'clock. This thing's obnoxiously loud, so I'm not gonna piss my neighbors off tonight. I also don't wanna risk that I screwed something up or forgot something and end up breaking down and end up having to fight to get this thing home in the middle of the night, because I do have to work tomorrow. So tomorrow when I get off work, I'll take it for a test ride. I might try to see if I can get the GoPro hooked up. I think I mentioned before, I tried using a mount with my iPhone and it didn't go well. Just the rumbling of the car, excuse the video, but it made it want to do like this non-stop and you couldn't see anything. So I'll try the GoPro, see if it records it smoothly, and maybe I'll get a drive video. And this video will actually be uploaded probably a day later than I'm recording it, because I just found out that I never actually uploaded the video I did from the diff, so I'll be doing that when I go in tonight, and then I'll upload this one tomorrow. So by then, hopefully you've seen the previous one, etc. Yeah, just confused the shit out of y'all, right? Anyways, that's it for tonight. I'm going in, going to find food, going to relax. My back's killing me. I've been in this car for the past like 3-4 hours. So I'll get y'all later.